What is something random you have to tell everyone? Until the 1970s, the recorded speed of light was slowing down. In the 1970s we started using atomic clocks to measure the speed of light where our measurements stabilized. However, atomic clocks are based on the speed of light, therefore, indirectly we are using the speed of light to measure the speed of light, and as such we have a 1:1 ratio. For all we know, the speed of light could be much slower or much faster than what our textbooks claim. When Shelby built the 2013 GT500, they used the 5.4 liters V8 from the previous year model, removed the cylinder sleeves to increase bore, and then used iron plasma to coat the cylinder walls to make them stronger to compensate for removing the sleeves. It increased it to 5.8 liters and added a slightly bigger displacement supercharger to add 112 horsepower, which helped the Shelby achieve a top speed of slightly over 200 miles per hour in good weather conditions. BLM is a corrupt organization. They play fast and loose with assets. They fail to adequately protect the very things they have pledged to protect. BLM consistently fails to properly maintain areas of critical concern that contain sensitive fish and wildlife, and auction off oil rights in sensitive public areas, including national parks, under their control. Bureau of Land Management leadership has lost their way. Cats are aliens. First of all, they have a different length year than humans, and a year is defined as how long it takes for our planet to orbit around the sun, so that means they're from another planet. Also, there's always been a theory that aliens made the pyramids, and I'd like to add to that because Egyptians worship cats and consider them gods, and I believe the reason why is because cats created the pyramids. I'm in Ecuador and have taught a good 15 people or so that all mosquitoes that bite you are female. That they need the blood to produce eggs. Follow-up statement. Quite literally to the first fact. I tell them by killing a biting mosquito you're not just ending one mosquito, but all the future ones she would have produced. You are the slayer of generations, not one single mosquito. Whale oil was used in automatic transmission fluid until 1973. The King family sued the US government, accusing the United States of being involved in a conspiracy to assassinate Martin Luther King Jr. They won. Adamant to not make it about money, they only sued for $100 and donated that to charity. Honeybees can recognize human faces. Fish can hear. Pigeons are fantastic pets. They're not just in cities either. If you have a good eye you'll see them nesting just about everywhere there's a large man-made structure. They're not native outside of Africa. They're also domesticated like a cat or a dog. If you catch one you can tame them down in the same way you can tame down a feral cat. Binturong pea smells like popcorn. Every time I walk into a movie theater, that factoid pops into my head. The likelihood of a trained bearcat assassin lurking in the shadows may be infinitesimal, but never truly zero. 1. Okay. So it is actually 0. But now you're gonna think about it. 2. And my work here is done. Many sayings originally meant the opposite of their current colloquial use. For example, pulling yourself up by your bootstraps meant you literally can't do it, 'cause they're attached to your feet. Also, curiosity killed the cat but satisfaction brought it back. I saw a cardinal just now. The myth around cardinals is that they're the souls of our lost loved ones coming back to see us. I know it's 100 bullshit, but I like to think that it's my brother coming by to say hello, even though it's very silly. Nobody cares what job you have, what car you drive, what clothes you wear, how successful you think you are compared to what society tells you. Being a good person and doing things that help humanity are way more important and respectable. One of my arms has a blackout tattoo to cover some older work that I wasn't happy with, and a big scar that I was very insecure about. Even though you can't see the scar at all, whenever people ask about my arm, I always mention the scar. Loud pipes do not save lives. They can actually make it more difficult to determine where a biker is, since the reverb will seem like it's coming from all directions in a car's cabin. This is an excuse Harley riders used to be obnoxious. Higher levels of testosterone don't make you more masculine. Excess testosterone 1000 nanograms DL gets converted into estrogen and has a feminizing effect. It also thickens the blood, which is why men are more at risk of heart attacks. I know a lot about clouds. I find myself bringing up cloud facts quite often. Especially when I see my favorite clouds, or clouds that indicate weather that contradicts what the Weather Channel forecasted. I painted my front door lime green and it looks so fun and nice. Until I open the door and it clashes horribly with my fun and nice mint green living room wall. I don't know what to do. Air fryers are just convection ovens with better marketing. What do you have attached to your toilet isn't a bidet. It's a wet sprayer attachment. Bidets are standalone fixtures. The core drive behind all of humanity is sex violence. It's the two main forces that drive us as a species. It's a tale that's been continuing 50,000 years and running. There's many iterations of this belief, but the version I like is when it's raining while the sun is still shining. That means somewhere a fox is getting married. Almost all casual bicyclists have their seat way too low, or tilted way down at the front, or both. Adjust your damn seat for comfortable, efficient pedaling. You don't need to throw a tantrum at a kid's sports game if you're an adult. If you're a kid you still shouldn't throw a fit, but at least you have an excuse. I've been getting super into Bill McClintock's mashups over the past year. The man's a genius. If you're stuck in a negative cycle, look for your role in how you play into the matter and allow it to keep happening. Only you can save you. I'm not ignoring you or trying to be rude. It's so much easier for me to hear what you are saying if I don't look at your face. Just because you have a portable speaker, doesn't mean that everyone else in a 300-yard radius wants to hear your music too. The thing you stand behind to make a speech is not a podium. You stand on a podium. What you stand behind is called a lectern. I'm still scared of that maze game flash game almost 2 decades later. That dang face at the end is scarred into my memory. I've become hyperfixated on a show about an angel and a demon. It has provided me with a lot of serotonin and dopamine. I coach American football in the UK. It's a niche sport, so we're always recruiting and you never know who will love it. Many of today's social problems can be attributed to feminism, the pill and men's dropping testosterone levels. I don't eat cheese. It's not really random, but just something I can't avoid when people offer to feed me. If you were to eat a different variety of apple every day, it would take over 20 years to try them all. Out of all of the 42,000 species of spiders, only 62 species can kill a person with their poison. It's probably going to get worse, before it gets even worse. Watch Golden Girls to cope. Back up your hard drive. It's not a question of if it will fail, it's a question of when. I don't like pickles, but my burgers always have them. I tell them I don't want any. When giving a high five, if you look at the other person's elbow, you'll never miss. Just because I have medium skin tone and dark hair doesn't mean I speak Spanish. Always be polite, because you never know who's a violent psycho about to snap. How people respond when you say something that they don't agree with. That I may have herpes. To be fair, almost everyone has herpes. Lol. If you clap above a housefly, it will fly into your hands and die. Sometimes the smallest gesture could mean the world to someone. Patronize family and independent businesses whenever possible. I have no idea what to do with my life and I am freaking out. Every second, one of the world's population is dead drunk. I'm the 1 in a billion. I'm allergic to THC and I hate it.